everybody. My name's John, and I'm a recovering addict. 20 years of over 20 years of sobriety, and now, and I just thought I'd do a video, a react video, and see if it might help somebody.
Keith,
Yeah.
you're out here in Hollywood, homeless. Tell me about it.
Um, let's see. There's not too much to tell, honestly. I could probably get off the streets if I tried a little bit harder. But
This is a definite thing. Most people on the streets could definitely get off the streets if they tried a little bit harder, but the problem is, it's the drugs are so overwhelming and consist of so much of your energy that there's little energy left into actually trying anything else.
like myself, um, it's not really that dangerous like everyone says, as long as you stick by yourself.
This is definitely true. When I first began using in Vancouver, East Side, Maine, Hastings, I was about 19 years old. Definitely not a fighter, not a stabber or anything like that. But I had no problems. I basically stuck to myself. I'm not to say like when I overdosed on heroin, I wasn't robbed and everything, but I was never viciously assaulted, stabbed, or anything like that. Um, in all fairness, it was not that bad.
And don't hang out with other homeless people. You're usually pretty okay. Um, my problem is I'm addicted to heroin, so that's basically why I can't get off the street. I ended up losing my job in the housing industry when the market went down, and I was addicted to painkillers. And when the painkillers got too expensive, I switched to heroin, and everything went downhill from there. I lost the apartment.
Well, with me, I wasn't one of those ones that had an injury and began taking opioids for pain. My thing was, I used to love cocaine, and cocaine was a drug that costed a fortune to do. One was too many, and a million not enough. But with heroin, um, I was convinced by other people that if you could not use it daily, that you could just use it $20 and you're off to the races rather than spending hundreds or thousands with cocaine. But the problem is with heroin is that the high is so enjoyable, it's so good that no matter, you will use it the next day.
The girl, the dog, and ended out in the street, which I basically gave everything up for heroin. You know?
That's an absolute fact. When you become a heroin addict, you give everything up for the heroin.
So if anyone ever asks what it's like to shoot heroin, it's probably the only thing that'll get a man to give up money, job, family, pussy. you know.
Takes your life away.
Yeah, it does. I mean,
Oh, absolutely, it takes your life away. I mean, you can't live in a stable home, you can't have a stable job, you can't have anything. So basically, what my daily routine as an addict would consist of, and depending on what homeless place I woke up from, I would wake up, have coffee, wait till the stores open, like malls. I would go into the Bay, Sears, whichever. I would go into the clothing section. I would pick some clothing that I knew would be in demand, grab a few extra things. I would head to the change room, put the things on underneath that I wanted to keep, bring the things back that I didn't want to keep, and off I went to go get high.
basically there's two sides to it. It sucks because it does take your life away, but at the same time, it's taking your life away because of the nature of it, like being scheduled a narcotic, and you can't get it. Your only options are to go and get on methadone.
This is changing. Harm reduction is really taking hold. In Vancouver, British Columbia, they are giving actual heroin maintenance program uh, to actually give people pure heroin instead of making them buy it illegally. They did a study, and actually one of the people that I used to use with was in the study, and they gave them there was 100 people. They gave them all uh, legal heroin, and they studied what happened. Out of these 100 people, approximately 90 went and got jobs. These people have not had jobs forever. Approximately 10% kept basically just using the heroin, and even that stopped them from being incarcerated. The police presence, the having drugs being illegal is the biggest blocker we have in stopping this epidemic. We need to decriminalize drugs. We cannot criminalize people for a health issue. If someone is addicted to drugs, what sense does it make to put them in a jail? It doesn't make sense. The reason this is getting out of control is because we are not treating it right. I mean, if you treated someone with asthma with cancer treatment, you're not going to get the results. But if you give that person with asthma an inhaler, they're going to be able to breathe.
We got methadone maintenance?
No,
Let me just quickly go with the methadone. When I first came to PEI in 2001, I was on methadone, and there is a name on the streets for methadone. They call it liquid handcuffs. Normally it's in a liquid form, but it also can come in a pill form. I could show one to you now. This is a 10 milligram methadone tablet. Basically, I just have it here from when I came off the methadone. It is very, very hard to come off. Not only that, you are locked. My grandmother had a heart attack in Thunder Bay, Ontario, and I almost missed it. I almost missed my grandmother because I had to go see my doctor. I had to go get the doctor's permission to write a script, to get a permission to carry the methadone on. It was a nightmare. I will never ever recommend the methadone treatment. If you can kick it, kick it. Go to detox. It takes 10 days. Yes, I know you won't sleep. You'll shit your drawers, whatever. But it's not 45 days or more, and that's what you're looking at with methadone, my friend. You do not want to go on methadone. It's a last option. It's a good last option, but make it a last option.
methadone maintenance is actually a lot. I mean, it's legal, but it's a lot more evil than heroin, because heroin, if you kick it, it's like an 8-day kick. If you kick methadone, it's about a month and a half of like pure hell, throwing up, shitting yourself. So
Have you tried to kick?
Yeah, I've tried a couple times. It's
just not ready yet.
Well, yeah, I mean, I still like it too much, and I still have, I'm still able to get it every day. So I still like it too much.
This is really the addiction fooling the addict. Everybody wants to kick. Nobody wants to be there. You can see his eyes shifting away, because he doesn't want to look at the person because he's being dishonest with the person. There's nobody that is an act. At first, when you first get into it, yeah, it is fun. But when you're at this stage where you're actually homeless, where someone's walking up to you on the street and interviewing you because you look like you're homeless and a drug addict, then the guy's definitely ready to kick. But this is what our brain will say. I mean, I spent 10 years on the streets. I've been in alleys. I've been, I can't, the stories I have to tell, but I mean, this is bullshit. The guy is just bullshitting. Nobody wants that misery.
That's part of the reason why I won't kick. And second of all, you try to kick on the street, and once you get to a point in the sickness where you're like 2-3 days into it, you know that it's basically a phone call away to like feel right again.
So I couldn't. I have 16 years sober. I was out here 16 years ago.
Right.
So he was out there 16 years ago. So that means then this was in 2011. So he was out there. So 10, 26. So 36 years ago. We're talking about between me and him, there's like a lot
And
of sobriety
I
here.
couldn't. Oh my gosh, there's no way that I.
But
if I got
kicking on the
notes in
street,
park,
no,
I'd
you'd never be
over.
able to kick in the street.
You know what I mean? There's
Right.
no way that I was gonna, get sober out here. Plus,
Right.
it sucks.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
what's your future like? What do you?
Well,
There is no future being an addict, and he knows that. I don't even know why he's acting. Maybe it's a reflection question where it makes him realize, wait a second, I have no future.
You're a smart guy. You
Yeah.
know.
I mean, I just realized that basically there's no. Wait for the siren to go past.
Well, thank you.
I mean, I basically realized there's no future until I actually get sober. So, basically,
good.
like, the way I look at it is like my life is kind of just on pause right now. It's like I'm 35.
Life is too short to pause it. He's 35 years old. I mean, you're homeless at 35 years old. Like, how long do you want to pause things? Like, this is, today's the day. Make today the day. Quit today. It's going to be hard. It's not going to be easy, but I tell you one thing, it's worth it. 20 years ago, yesterday I was walking up down the road, trying to lose a bit of weight. I'm always trying to reinvent myself to always feel good, and I know in the last few years I gained a bit of weight, and I've been lethargic, haven't been, and I do, in the steps you have to constantly do a searching inventory of yourself, and I realized that, there's something going on with me, and I realized what it was. It was I was spending too much time video gaming and not paying attention to the real things of life. And the real things of life are outside, are inside, our families, our relationships. Um, you know, Yesterday I was walking up. I live on a point on the ocean now. I used to live in an alley. I used to smell urine and feces. Now I smell the sweet salt air. I mean, I can see the ocean instead of the concrete building next door with a big garbage with 10 people huddled around doing crack. I mean, my life has changed so dramatically. I don't know if this will reach somebody or not, but you know what? It's worth a shot. I was given something that is so precious, so awesome. I am a recovering addict with over 21 years of sobriety. And I have had a life. I'm 49 years old. I love life. And I want someone who is struggling to find some hope and find a reason that to quit and to find that life is okay. That life, you don't have to hide from that pain. You can face that pain. You can't face it head on. You can face that pain. It's hard, but you can do it. And you can do it without drugs. Love y'all.